जय कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरावन चारी जय कुंज बिहारी यमुना तीरावन चारी जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Mani Sudarshana, Jai Jai Subhadra, Jai Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana, Jagannath Swami Dayana Patagami, Dayana Patagami Bhavatu Me, Jagannath Swami Dayana Patagami, Dayana Patagami Bhavatu Me, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, Vatita Pavana, Sila Patita Pavana Chilabhavita, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam to all devotees. So thanks for your time joining this Seshadripuram Srimad Bhagavatam Zoom session. So we'll continue the discussion shortly. So today we are going to cover 61st shloka of 8th chapter of 4th canto. I'll just project it shortly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jaya Muniraye Nishtaprayasho Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Dadati Sapadam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitantam Sri Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagna Lalita Vishakavitam Tasya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste. Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusuti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Upasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So we'll start the shloka recitation and then translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 61st shloka of 8th chapter, 4th canto. विरक्त चंद्रिय रतौ भक्ति योगेन भूयसा तम निरंतर भावेन भजिताद्वा विमुक्तये. Viraktascha, completely renounce order of life. Indre ratau, in the matter of sense gratification. Bhakti yogena, by process of devotional service. Bhuyasya, bhuyasa, with a great seriousness. Tam, unto him, the Supreme. Nirantara, constantly, 24 hours daily. Bhavena, in the topmost stage of ecstasy. Bhajeta, must worship. Adha, directly. Vimuktaye, for liberation. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. If one is very serious about liberation, he must stick to the process of transcendental loving service, engaging 24 hours a day in the highest stage of ecstasy, and he must certainly be aloof from all activities of sense gratification. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. There are different stages of perfection according to different persons' objectives. Generally, people are karmis, for they engage in activities of sense gratification. Above the karmis are the jnanis, who are trying to become liberated from material entanglement. Yogis are still more advanced because they meditate on the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, there are devotees who simply engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. They are situated seriously on the topmost platform of ecstasy. Here, Dhruva Maharaj is advised that if he has no desire for sense gratification, then he should directly engage himself in the transcendental loving service of Lord. The path of apavarga or liberation begins from stage called moksha. In these words, the word vimuktaye for the liberation is especially mentioned. If one wants to be happy within the material world, he may aspire to go to different material planetary system where there is higher standard of sense gratification. But real moksha, liberation, is performed without any such a desire. This is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by the term Anya Bilasha Sunyam. Anya Bilasita Shunyam. Without desire for material sense gratification. For person who are still inclined to enjoy material life in different stages or in different planets, the stage of liberation is in Bhakti Yoga is not recommended. Only persons who are completely free from contamination of sense gratification can execute Bhakti Yoga or the process of devotional service very purely. The activities on the path of apavarga up to the stages of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama are meant for sense gratification. But when one comes to stage of moksha, the impersonalist liberation, the practitioner wants to merge into existence of Supreme. But that is also sense gratification. When one goes above the stage of liberation, however, he at once becomes one in the association of Lord to render transcendental loving service. That is technically called Vimukti. For this specific Vimukti liberation, Narada Muni recommends that one directly engage himself in devotional service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. विरक्तश्चन्द्रिय रतौ भक्ति योगेन भूयसा तं निरंतर भावेन भजिताद्धामि मुक्तये. If one is very serious about liberation, he must stick to the process of transcendental line service, engaging 24 hours a day in highest stage of ecstasy, and he must certainly be aloof from all activities of sense gratification. Hare Krishna. Hmm. Very important verse. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामी निधि नामिने नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथामदाय नगर ग्राम धारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर मुक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Okay, so this is Dhruva boy that time, Dhruva Maharaj. Conversation between Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva boy, and Narad Muni. So you know the story. I'll just quickly brief it. So Dhruva was a son of Uttanpad, and he wanted to sit. He was sitting on his father's king's lap, and his stepmother sort of came and told, "No, you don't deserve to be there. It's my son who will sit, and I will get all these opulences, and you don't have right because your mother, mm, Suniti, she is not very much liked by the king, while I, means Suruchi, Dhruva stepmother, is more, closer to king. So you don't come in way and then you go out." So Dhruva Maharaj is actually, he was a king. He was a boy stage of the king and Kshatriya. So Kshatriyas, they take insults and um, any challenges very seriously, and they will respond to that. That is Kshatriya spirit. That's why Kshatriyas are, they are administrators and politicians. I mean, good spiritual best are administrators and politicians. So Kshatriyas are like that. They are having that valor and fighting spirit for good cause, not that they exploit the people. So that is Kshatriyas, and he, as naturally expected, he was responding saying, I want the position above my father. Not even above, I want the position. He wanted his position above the Brahma, who is the highest position in material world, who is a creator and secondary creator. Of course, creator of material world is Vishnu, but he's a secondary creator. So that way, he's the ultimate authority, not Brahma, and he wanted position above him, and he was not ready to listen anything below that. That is the Kshatriya spirit. So um, then he approached his mother. Mother told, "I cannot do anything much. She's the lady," and but she advised him nicely that, "See, look, if you want everything perfect in this material world, in the sense, perfect in the sense, whatever you want in material world or even in spiritual world or whatever you want, any desires, material desire, spiritual desire, there is no other way but to surrender to Lord Krishna." That's a simple message she gave, and then she sort of kept quiet. Because she told, whatever happens to us is all karmas, but then our karma phalas are there. And if you want something very tangible, you surrender to Lord Krishna. And then Narad Muni was also there. Narad Muni also met him because Narad Muni saw this boy is having intense desire and he's a potential devotee going further. That is when Narad Muni will pitch in such a case. And he came and told, "Okay, what you want?" He said, "I want this position." Not only this, all material desire and insults and all that. You are a boy. Why you are taking insults and all that so seriously? You just go and play some small games or sports. Enjoy with your friend. He said, But Dhruva said, no, I am not, I may be boy, but I'm Kshatriya spirit, and I don't want to accept this advice as of now, although he was respecting Narmuni. He was putting his point in a very polite way. It's not that he was arrogant. Kshatriyas are powerful, they are very, valor, but they are not arrogant that way. Especially with towards saintly persons and scriptures and gurus. Obviously, that's the culture. That's a very culture, Sanatan culture. So he said, yeah, I understand your advice, but then I want this. I'm having that intense desire. So Narmuni was testing basically. Is he really desire or is just out of coming out of some sentimental, emotional thing? So then he was testing and he found that no, Dhruva Maharaj has got real desire to, achieve whatever he want, and determination was there. So determination is the first step. So even our gurus also will test us. The whole Lord himself, Guru himself, themselves will test us that whether this person want the devotional service very seriously or just casually. So there will be some test, and you have to pass that test, and it will be very easy test and doable test. It's not that Lord is going to put us in a trouble where we cannot, surpass that. It never happens. In general, also, Lord will never put in a difficulty which you cannot surpass. There is a potential to surpass, but you have to push yourself. You have to surrender to Lord. That's the whole purpose of material world. So that is what it was happening. And Dhruva said, no, I want to achieve this. So then Narmuni instructed, okay. Then he gave a lot of philosophical discussion. This verse is coming under that philosophical discussion. And it's not only philosophy, it was basically telling that, okay, you have got various options, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, and all this. But then Narmuni, clearly said that it's a devotional soul. Bhakti yoga is the topmost. And if you have got desires, if you are free from desires, and if you want real ultimate uh, achievement, then you surrender. Take a bhakti yoga. That's the whole purpose. So Narad Muni was explaining a lot of, and he was explaining how Lord is so beautiful, so blissful to see Lord, and how Lord is taking care of his devotees, whoever is surrender. How he is the only person to whom you can surrender in real sense, and he will reciprocate in a perfect way. We surrender in our material life in a very various capacities to the different personal life, family members, various social life. But nobody will be able to respond to you as to whom you are surrendering in a perfect way than Lord, because Lord doesn't have any selfish motive. Lord is, and he is resourceful. He's a six Aishwaryas, six opulences are with Lord. And he's our final well-wisher. So when I say Lord and his devotees comes into picture. Everything is together, I'm saying. It's not that Lord, of course, and devotees also will be like that. So you have to surrender to Lord and his devotees. And that's a perfect reciprocation. So Narad Muni explaining, you have to surrender to Lord Krishna, nothing less than that. So that's a discussion going on. And this shloka Narad Muni mentions to Dhruva, if one is serious about liberation, you must stick to process of transcendence or service, engaging 24 hours a day. Okay, so Prabhupada explains in the purport now, very important purport. So Prabhupada explains more on very technically topics. See, so first of all, what is meant by liberation? So Dhruva Maharaj was actually looking for liberation. He was having some desire of achieving that, but ultimately Narad Muni tested him and he told that actually you are deserving more than so-called your kingdom and all that. Anyway, you will get that. So he was bringing the Dhruva Maharaj slowly to take up the devotional service and do the tapascharya for devotional service with a mood of devotion. So as you know, Prabhupada explains this in this shloka and in many his purports. There are four types of transcendentalists or spiritualists. Karma yogis, jnana yogis, ashtanga yogis, and bhakti yogis. Bhagavad Gita also explains this. All are trying to achieve something higher than basic material life. That is karmis. Karmi means They don't have anything to do with all this spirituality, Bhagavad Gita, Lord. No, they just work and die. So that is karmi. They just have sense enjoyment, work hard and die. So that is, and Bhagavatam explains this phenomena of how this material world is designed in such a way that everybody gets his own uh, path and get facilitated, cater to his desires. If you are a karmi, is not interested spiritually, okay, then material life is there. You do the karma, you get good karma, you will get good, bad, you will get bad results. And there's so many resources given for us. We do use that resources for our sense enjoyment. It goes on, life goes on. But then is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Or that is a life of Pavarga. Pavarga is mentioned in Prabhupada's purport. Pavarga is mentioned. Pavarga means material. Typical characterization of material world means Pavarga. If somebody asks you, what is material life? Material means Pavarga. What is Pavarga? Pavarga. Varga means the word, what you call, you say, no? Like ABCD, like that. Okay. So Pavarga means Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma. Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma. Pavarga means Pa series. It's there in Sanskrit or in many Indian languages. Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma. Mainly Sanskrit. So Pa means Parishram. Pa means Parishram. Parishram means hard work. In material life, nobody can live comfortably without doing hard work, mentally, physically, or whatever way, socially, whatever. Parishram. So material life is characterized by, means materialist people, karmis people. They work hard, hard, hard. Parishram, Parishram, Parishram. Pha means feni. Phena. Feni means, foam. So, foam comes to our mouth. I mean, in human being also it happens, or it may not happen literally, or it happens also. But then you see in dogs and horses, it has foam. So we work so hard that we get foam. Means we get exhausted. We say, "Arey yaar, so much work we are doing foam." So like that. Pha means you will be sweating in the material life to achieve something in material life is not that easy. Nothing is easy. You want to get money, you want to get position, you want to get some maintain your family, maintain your social status. It's not easy. You have to work hard and then literally form it out. And that happens with us. Okay, bo means bondage. Means after achieving so much material life, we are bonded by. We are getting bound to all this. We are getting attached, asakti. We are getting attached. Oh, this is mine, this is mine. This is this, that. And then there is a lot of fighting and basically attachment. We try to maintain the whole thing because we are attached. Because with so much hard work, we achieved something, we are going to get bound. So, bha. Bha means bhaya. Once you are attached, we are doing so much hard work, we are attached, we get bhaya. Fear means, fear means, oh, I may lose it. Whatever I achieved, I may lose it. Whatever, oh, he will snatch my this thing. Insecurity, fear is the thing. Material life is actually material life in one word is fear. I was hearing somewhere, I was listening somewhere, Prabhuji's lecture. And Prabhupada also mentioned material life in a very basic way, fundamentally described as a fear. That's all. Fear means material life. So if you are fearful, you are having material consciousness. If you are coming out of material consciousness, if you are coming out of material consciousness, your fear will disappear. So pa pha ba bha. Bha means bhaya. Pa pha ba bha. Ma means mrityu. So mrityu means death. So whatever we achieve, ultimately we have to live. So this is called pavarga. Now the karmis or materialistic people don't understand all this. What is going on? What is going on? Going on? Okay, they just go on and under this influence of this pavarga. But the people who are having slowly developed the spiritual consciousness, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, So karma yogi, they come, okay, they are still attached to sense enjoyment. They are having so much desire to sense enjoyment. They are having this power also, but they have got little bit inclination towards Lord's, little bit devotion, little bit. So they try to offer their fruits to Lord. They take Lord into their life slowly. But material desires are there, and that's karma yogi. They'll continue the karma, but they are not fully surrendering everything to Lord, and that consciousness is not still that much pure to surrender to Lord. Okay, so this is the material life. Okay, so this is a karma yogi. This is so they are karma yogi. Jnana yogi. Now, jnana yogi means uh, Gyanis, or basically they are questioning the whole. They are trying to go. They are above the karmis. They are karma yogis. Karma yogis are trying to do something for sense enjoyment plus little bit attachment to Lord also is there because they are connected. Without without Lord's context, there is no yoga. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga means there has to be some context to Lord. Karma yoga means they can connect to Lord will by offering some fruits of his karma phala to Lord. So that type of Jnana yoga means they are trying to understand about Lord, who is Lord, how is the things, what is this material world. So more upon knowledge, lot of knowledge they are trying to gain. Various scriptures they'll read, but it's more on a mental platform. Mental, they will speculate. They may not take complete surrender to Lord. They may not be, they are not actually fully surrendered to Lord. They know, okay, they are trying to understand the whole thing. Why I am suffering? Why is this material world? Who is God? And more of a speculative way, but it's more of a speculative way. Jnana means they want to understand everything on the strength of their mind, some logic, and trying to do come out of this because they understand, oh, what is there in this Ahara Bhai Nidra Maithun or these power gods. Material life, they understand the you know uh, uselessness of this material world. They understand, oh, it's not much worth. So much hard work, but its material life is not that much worth. So they try to come out of this. What is the solution for this? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is a universal thing. Nobody is free from Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Ultimately, all our sense enjoyment results into distress. So what is the solution? Permanent solution. How to come out of this? So they start inquiring. They start reading scriptures. But that they continue, and that but they still they have what that sense enjoyment ability, tendencies, because they are not surrendered to Lord. They are not completely surrendering their senses. They are still trying to work on the sensual platform, and still that my me. uh, I want to liberate. I want to come out of this. So that little bit, and maybe at finer level, that mental speculation itself is sense enjoyment. They are not ready to completely surrender to Lord and accept the duty. So that's all. So Prabhupada says it's a good thing, but it's also a sense enjoy. Even Ashtanga Yoga, that's the next step where devotees they are not actually they are rejecting this mental speculation and karmas practically, and they completely try to control the mind with the control of all Ashtanga based on Ashtanga siddhis and process is there Ashtanga. Okay. Like Yamani, Yamasana, Pranayam, Dana, Dhyana, Pratyahara, Samadhi, like that. So they are trying to control the mind and trying to control the mind, and so that they focus on the super soul, Paramatma, localized Paramatma. So they are trying to focus on the localized aspect of the Lord, which is all pervasive. And they are trying to say, yeah, Lord is there with Paramatma. So they are trying to Uh, but still, they have got some desires of siddhis. I should become like this. I should see the Lord. I should have this siddhi. So that's Ashtanga Yoga. So they are having that, still that desires are there. Prabhupada writes, see, we may not at this stage of our knowledge, we may not be able to understand very subtle difference between these two. You may say, oh, everything is same. Everybody ultimately, they are doing some good spiritual thing. But no, there is a difference. Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport every now and then is that other than bhakti yoga, other than devotional service, pure devotional service, pure devotion, other than pure devotional service, pure bhakti yogi, rest is all having some, uh, some shade of the sense enjoyment. Very subtle level. Karma yoga are the gross level sense. Yes, I am earning money, I will work, little bit I'll give it to Lord, I'll also enjoy. That's a gross sense enjoyment. But Jnana yogi, Ashtanga yogi, although you may find, oh, they are so spiritually inclined, which are really, no doubt about it. Because they are at the end of the day are very intelligent and elevated consciousness. They are not into this power and they are trying to question the whole status quo. Oh, how I should solve the problems of my life. So it's not ordinary thing. Definitely, they are transcendental, they are spiritualist. But still, that sense enjoyment, that subtle level, at mind level, intellectual level is there. Ki, oh, still it's me, my mind. I want to see the Lord. I want to learn this. It's like that subtle their sense enjoyment is there because sense enjoyment is not only with four senses, it is with mind, intelligence, ego also. So all these sense enjoyment are with all these elements. So it's not only just gross sense enjoyment. We are eating something, we are enjoying the senses. That is very gross. But at mind level also, mental speculation. So they don't want to follow for example, Jnana Yogi, they don't want to follow the exact process given by, not fully surrender. They are not fully trying to surrender. They are actually trying to work on their mind and their mind convenience. And then first I want to convince their mind. It's all mental platform that way. Okay. So still that me mind is thing is there. So, but then that is how, but of course they are partially or they are major extent get liberated. So what is liberation basically? Prabhupada mentions it here. Liberation means basically, see, there is a typical, we call it Purushartha, or in the Bhagavatam, for a common mass of people. See, Bhagavatam actually kicks out the Dharmartha Kama-moksha methodology. Bhagavatam is actually condemning the Dharmartha Kama-moksha, but it allows the Dharmartha Kama-moksha. It's part of the Vedic civilization. It's because instead of living like animals and enjoying the senses, where it absolutely there is no discrimination. We are not animals, we are human beings. We are supposed to understand the higher purpose of lying beyond sense enjoyment. What is beyond sense enjoyment, we should understand. Now, we cannot get rid of sense enjoyment just like that. We are not at that level of pure devotional service. So there is a concession given, dharma artha kama. You do the dharma. Dharma means religious activity. Dharma is not necessarily means spiritual activity. Dharma, but of course it's a religious pious activity. Dharma. This is my dharma, it's my duty. For example, I'm Kshatriya, I have to fight, I'm engineer, I have to do this, I have to doctor, I have to do. These are all about following or varnashram dharma. So basic, you do your duties to maintain your life. That is a dharma. Dharma, artha means you will get money. Without money, we can't survive. So dharma, artha, kama. Kama means, at a very broader perspective, kama means desires, fulfilling the desires, lusty desires, or any sort of mental, intellectual, bodily desires. So at a very broad sense, kama means that. Dharma, artha, kama means basically they are trying to go from this power governmental life to spiritual life. But that is a very basic, primitive method. But everybody may not be able to surrender the Lord to the Lord. That level of consciousness may not be there. But for mass of people, for who have got mixed desire, they want to worship Lord. They want to slowly come out of this, but they are not able to quit this material desire. So this mean path is given. Okay, you start enjoying, you continue enjoying the senses, earn the money, do your duties, but then try to aspire for liberation. Dharma, artha, kama are mean for achieving moksha. So this is the basic primitive religion. It's a very primitive form of Sanatan, okay, or Vedic culture. And of course, it's good. It's not that it's bad, but it's not perfect. That's not what it is recommended for a person who is actually looking for solving all the problem at a time, once and for all. So Dharmartha kama moksha meant for moksha. Now, what is moksha? That also we should understand. Moksha means coming out of this material mess, material life mess, material world mess. We are in this mess. What is mess? Material world itself is a mess from our perspective, from Jiva perspective, from a soul perspective. It is not a mess in absolute sense. It's a perfectly designed by Lord. It's not mess. It's a perfect design by Lord, imperfectly. It is said that material world is designed perfectly imperfect. Means you will feel it is perfect, but it is actually imperfect. It will not allow you to achieve the perfection, but you will feel like, oh, I will achieve the perfection in sense enjoyment. But it will never satisfy you. And it is designed in so perfectly that slowly you will understand its imperfectness as far as your objective is concerned. And it will push you towards the Lord Krishna ultimately. That's why it is perfect. So as far as objective of the design of the material world is concerned, it's perfect. But the actual as the operational design is concerned of this material world is imperfect. Means you will never get everything so perfectly. You know that like there is always distress, happiness. You will get something, next day you will get. You will have everything perfect, but at the end of the day you have to die. Imperfection. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. It's really imperfection. Like that, there is no perfect person you will see in from materialistic. If he is not like Acharya, they are perfect. But otherwise, there is no perfect person. There is no perfect person. There is always some bad and good and all that is going on. Extent may differ. So, Dharmartha Kama Moksha is a basic type of religion. Moksha is we understood. So, moksha means actually coming out of this maze of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Characterization of material world is what is characterization of material world? Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, which is a universal problem. Nobody is free from these problems. You have to tackle this problem. And it's like it's a constraint. It's a bondage for the soul. Why? Because soul is Satchidanand, soul is eternal, soul is knowledgeable, and soul is eternal blissful. But in material world, you will not be able to achieve these three things. Why? Because there is a mrityu, so there is breath, means there is such, but actually soul is eternal. So you will temporarily change the bodies and you will feel, oh, it's death, 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 death. So that feeling is there. So you will have that consciousness of death and all that. Fear will be there. So material world is characterized by Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. It is characterized by Ahara Bhaya Nidra Maithun, means just eat, sleep, have Maithun. This is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi and Ahara Bhaya Nidra Maithun and sleep. Okay. So these are four activities. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is characterized. So that comes inflicted on us. And Pavarga is already mentioned. It's basically various ways of describing the material world. That's how we should understand. Pavarga means we know parishrama. Parishrama, homa, bondage, bandhan, bhaya, mrityu. So in all this, and you can see our life is actually full of all this. Of course, as a devotee, we are slowly coming out of this. That's for sure. Devotion will ensure, Lord Krishna will ensure you are coming out of this. And if you are not taking devotion service, we cannot come out of this. That's very simple thing. And rest thing is in between. Like Jnana Yogi, Karma Yogi, Ashtanga Yogi are trying to be in between. Because they are not fully surrendered to Lord, but they want to come out of this. They have understood, oh, this is all nonsense. Material world is nonsense for us. They have understood. That's a good thing. Very few people understand this. We have to understand there is no use of material life as far as our purpose is concerned. Of course, I'm not saying that whatever we are doing is useless. No, not that way. We have to, consciousness has to be changed. Our consciousness of material consciousness has to be changed. It's not that you can change the material life immediately. No. There's no need also. In fact, we have to utilize, change our consciousness and use this material life for service of Lord. That is a perfection. Then there is not material life. So if person is devotee, whatever material activity is doing is not actually material life. It is a spiritual life. Because he has transcendented that. He has surrendered everything to Lord. So it becomes spiritual. So because Acharya Prabhupada used all those material sources, he built temples. So he used bricks, cement, land, correct? Whatever food, material, but he made it in prasad. So singing, everything, Prabhupada gave us the formula to convert it to spiritual life. So it's not that Prabhupada said, okay, oh, this is all use. Prabhupada is saying everywhere in purport, material life is not of use to you, useless. But he did not say, oh, then you reject everything. He actually gave us the formula how to use material sources, resources to spiritual life. And we have to use, so you have to use these material resources, change your consciousness to Krishna consciousness and continue the material life, so-called material life. But actually internally you are becoming spiritual. Spiritual consciousness. Internally is what is more important. Externally, material life will continue to that extent, fit to purpose. Of course, we should not get too much engrossed into that. That's also very important. So it's all has to be done in a very delicate way, which is happens under guidance of Guru and Krishna and scriptures. So this is how. So Narad Muni was telling Dhruva Maharaj, look, you are a spiritually inclined person, although he's a boy, and if you are trying to do something, some tapasya for some kingdom purpose, it may not be a good thing. It may not be that much good idea. Is subtly or is indirectly hinting that you go two steps beyond. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to do tapasya to achieve something very tough, good, and he wanted to do tapasya of Lord. That is another good thing, even though for material gain. That is also important. Even though we have got so many material desires, if at all you have to worship, you worship Lord, even though you have got material desire, even though you are fully spiritual desire, fully bhakti, whatever it may be, achieve worship Lord only. So that way Dhruva Maharaj was almost there. Now rest is just little bit his ignorance has to be, I will not call the word ignorance, is little bit correction has to be done, which Narad Muni has done, saying that, okay, then if you want to do the ultimate, you want to really come out of all this, you are getting hurted by material world, insult of material world, you are getting frustrated by material world, just don't stick yourself to just doing some tapasya. Go two steps beyond and just surrender to Lord. Because Narad Muni is explaining how devotional service is the topmost yoga system. It is a topmost activity which will solve all the problems. It's not only a question of dharmartha kama moksha. It's not a question of just solving the pavarga problem, apavarga problem. It's not only solving janma, it's solving all the problems together in one shot. That is nothing but changing the consciousness. Somehow or other, soul has got this consciousness, oh, I, me, my false ego. I want to enjoy. It's for me. It's my hotel world. It's my property. It's my, even though Lord also I want for my benefit. I want to worship Lord for my benefit. That's also, but that's not bad. It's good only. It's spiritual, but it's not, it's contaminated spiritual desire. Contaminated with material desire. We should understand this. And nothing wrong. We should continue with that. Instead of leaving the whole thing, not doing anything on spiritual, at least continue with material desire, but slowly reduce that material desires and try to have pure spiritual. What is a pure spiritual desire? What is the purest form of spiritual desire? Bhakti yoga, surrendering to Lord. Prabhupada explains here. Prabhupada explains very clearly. That is in pure form. I'll just read the exact sentence so that we get perfect. Just a minute. Give me 2 minutes. I see. This is one. The stage of liberation in Bhakti Yoga is not recommended. Okay. Only person who are completely free from contamination of sense gratification can execute Bhakti Yoga or process of devotional service very purely. See, Prabhupada explains very clearly. Prabhupada is telling 2, 3 things here. We should understand, try to understand what Prabhupada is saying. Srila Prabhupada is saying that all the other forms of yoga are lower than Bhakti Yoga. One thing. Bhakti Yoga is highest. Why? Because in other forms of lower yogas, there is some sense, there is some element of sense enjoyment, subtle sense enjoyment, which will keep you bound to this material world. You will not be liberated fully. Even though you liberate fully, you may at the most get into Brahmajyoti, where you will be impersonal form of the Lord. And you may not stay there a long time and again fall down. That's what Prabhupada mentioned. So that is why. But in Bhakti Yoga, pure Bhakti Yoga, pure Bhakti Yoga. Now, Bhakti Yogi, we are also having Bhakti Yoga, but we have got some material desires. We are Bhakti Yogis under the ISKCON, our our parampara. We are Bhakti Yogi, pure. But many of us, at least I, having those desires, material desires, seeds are there still. That doesn't mean we are not Bhakti Yogi, but we are not at pure platform. And we should try to become more and more purer. With the mercy of Prabhupada, Guru, we may become that. But we should know that. So that is also not Prabhupada. There also is a contamination. But pure Bhakti Yoga, like Prabhupada himself, Acharyas, our Gurus, Guru Parampara, they are pure Bhakti Yoga. Their only way, desire is to surrender to Lord. Do the service for Lord. They use their senses, so-called sense enjoyment, for service of Lord. They use all their activities for service of Lord out of love. They don't even desire that I'll go to Vaikuntha planets, Golok Vrindavana, because I want to come out of this material world. Hence, I want to go there. That also desire they don't have. That is also but little bit contaminated desire. See, this is the purity. So they just want to serve the Lord, pure devotee, want to serve the Lord. It may be in hell, it may be in heaven, or it may be in Vaikuntha. They want to do everything for Lord, even though they suffer. I mean, they will not suffer, but even though they have to take some suffering, so-called suffering, it's fine. They will serve the Lord. They chant to satisfy to make the Lord happy. It's not that we chant sometimes. Most of the time we chant, I should become happy. I should become liberated from the anxiety. That is also good. I'm not saying it's bad, but that's not pure. We should understand what is the most pure platform. Prabhupada was on that platform, and his disciples and oh, Parampara, Acharya Parampara was there. How? Because completely surrendered to Lord. No desire other than to serve the Lord. That's all. No least worried about their own desires. So that is why Bhakti Yoga, you can understand it logically also. The surrendering your whole thing, yourself to Lord is not that easy. Okay. So this is the way we should think. And ultimately, Narad Muni instruct Dhruva Maharaj to go into tapasya mode in this, with this consciousness that, yes, surrender everything to Lord. And Dhruva Maharaj did it. And when Lord appeared, he forgot all his desires because that is what he wanted. And Lord was kind enough, merciful enough to give him that benediction. Okay, you surrender. And he gave him the planet which is Athala. That means never to be destroyed, Dhruva planet. Okay, so this is the way. That's the story goes on further. We'll listen as we go further. But this shloka is very important. It tells very clearly that which yoga is the best and what we should aim at. Bhakti yoga, pure Bhakti yoga, pure Bhakti yoga. We should understand the limitations of other yoga. Should not get carried away by other yogas. Of course, they are good. We should respect and they are good. And we may adopt some of those yogas also. Bhakti yoga, we do karma yoga, we do ashtanga yoga. That's all fine as a complementary. But our main purpose is Bhakti yoga. That's very important. And that is what we should. And it's very simple. We don't have to do too many things. So this is how it is. Okay. So I will stop here. So any questions, comments from the devotees, we'll take it up and then we'll close later on that. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada. Please, if any questions or comments are there, let me know. We'll just discuss now. Okay. So if there are no comments or questions, we will close the session here. Thanks. Some of the devotees left, some of the devotees are here. Thanks all of you for spending your time in the morning. And please continue chanting, continue reading Bhagavatam. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna. and continue attending these classes. And thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.